Assalamu alaikum. This is the shape I'm going to make an isometric drawing of. So this is a 50, this is a 50, this is a 100. So in my drawing here, I will make room for the biggest dimension. So I will go a little bit further to the left to make more space to the right, to make sure that my 10 centimeters, because this is 100 millimeters, so this is going to be 10 centimeters in this direction. So after I start my first basic line here, I'm going to move my ruler to the left to make sure that I have enough space on the bigger dimension. And then I will go to the compass. And then with the compass, this 0 point here must match my middle point here. And the upper line should align with the 90 degrees. My right line would match with the 0. And my right line will match with the 180 degrees on this end. With that alignment correct, I can take my 30 degrees on this end and then go to the other end and find the 30 degrees here right under the 150, so I can mark it on the 150. And now I connect my angle measurements this is my baselines that I will build my shape on. As you can see, this is the bigger measurement. This is why I made enough space on this end. Now I'm going to take my first measurements, the 100 on this line, the 50 here on this line. So I will put my 0 here. And I will put my 10, mark my 10 in here. This, as you can see, the 10 centimeters mark, and this is where the 100 millimeters mark is. On the other end, I need 50 millimeters, so I will take from 0. This is the 0 point. It's not clear on the ruler, but it is right here. This is the 0, and this is the 5 centimeters or 50 millimeters point. Now I will make my measurements on the central line. The central line is going to align with here. This is my A point. So starting from here, I'm going to mark 25 millimeters, which is 2.5 centimeters, and then my 50 millimeters or 5 centimeters here. I'm going to make, this is the 50 point and this is the 100 point. I'm going to make a parallel for my right line or a perpendicular line. Here I'm going to make 2 parallel lines on those 2 points that I have taken measures on. This is my first parallel line, parallel to my central line. Make sure my measurements are accurate before I make my line, and make sure my alignments are all in the correct direction. And then I will put my hand here, stabilize this ruler, go to the other side, make sure that my alignment is still correct, and make my other parallel line here. And now I'm going to make multiple parallel lines from this point here, for this line here. One of them is going to go to the 25 point, and one of them is going to be the 50 point. Now I have this ruler completely aligned with the line I want to make parallel with, and then I go to the point of 25, make my first line at the 25th millimeter, stabilize my sliding ruler, go up to the 50 millimeter point and make my other parallel line. On the other side, I'm going to make parallel lines with my baseline here. I will have to slide up to match those lines, so I will make enough room for the sliding to happen. Now my alignment ruler is there, my sliding ruler is in place. I can get to the 25 millimeter point and make parallel, and my second parallel will go at the 50 millimeter point on the central line, and that is my second parallel line of my smaller dimension, or on the smaller dimension. Now I have this point here, and I have this point here. And this is why I can continue making parallel on each side from this point here. I put my alignment correctly, put my sliding ruler correctly, and I slide up. Do not stress too much on the pencil, because those are all helping or guiding lines. So on the other end, on the other direction, I have to parallel with this line on this point. This is not going to fit, so I will have to take a little bit to the right, so I can slide through the point I want to make the parallel with. And now I can take this measurement here. This is 50. This 50 can be taken here, or here, or here. Wherever I take it, parallel lines, one parallel line will spread it all over the shape. So I'm going to take it here, this is my 0, and this is my 50 millimeter. And now I have this point. I go back and parallel with my central perpendicular line, or with my central right line. And now I have this 50 measurement. So to make this correctly, I have this measurement here. Now I can go from this point, and to make this line, I can parallel with that line, or with this line. Any of them will work. I'll start from here, Make sure my ruler will go through this point. And that is this upper line here. I already have a line here I can parallel with to go down a little bit on this line. And I slide to the point of meeting. I have a point of meeting of two lines. To get to this point, it is the connection between this line and this line in here, and not this line. This should not be guiding me to get to this line. I can only parallel with it. As you can see, if my alignment is not correct, I have to correct it and make sure I am using my rulers correctly. Always check if your alignment is correct. Now I can see I am a little bit like 1 millimeter in the wrong. So I will check again. This is my baseline, and this is my central. Yes? And I move from my central and I correct my line. It's 1 millimeter wrong, not a big one. So now I have this line going down. I don't let it finish. I will just connect it to this one here. One of the most important things that we do is make sure that when I am aligning my sliding ruler, like I'm aligning my sliding ruler to make a parallel for this line here, I make sure that my ruler will actually go through the point that I want to make the parallel from in here. So if my alignment is going like this, very close, and I put my sliding ruler here, you can see that the point that I want to make the parallel from is not reachable. It's under the ruler. That's one of the things that got us confused a lot of times. So make sure that this point is not going to be covered with your sliding ruler or your aligned ruler. This is the guiding or aligned ruler here. And this is my parallel line. All I have to do is connect two lines or 2 points here, this point with this point, and then my shape is almost ready. All I have to do is emphasize the lines. That are originally in my shape, and then weaken the lines that are not in my original shape. Add visibility to the lines that are final lines that belongs to the original shape. And then those are very strong, very visible lines. And now I weaken the light lines or the helping or the guiding lines to make sure that they are not considered part of my shape. All I have to do is to cut them with the eraser without removing them completely. It's not my goal to remove them completely. And now my shape is ready with the right dimensions. That is the difference between isometric and freehand. Freehand do not have to adhere to measurements. All I need is the general shape. A shape that is similar to the original shape. But in isometric, my measurements should be correct, and my measurements and alignments should be correct, so my parallel lines are correct.